Since the installation of the 2 offshore substations in the summer of 2011, the team constructing the London Array offshore wind farm has been busy installing the monopile foundations that the turbines will sit on, and the turbines that will generate the electricity, meaning that the network of turbines and substations that will become the London Array offshore wind farm really is starting to take shape. As the harsh winter of 2012 gives way to spring, the London Array offshore wind farm looks like this. Around 3/4 of the turbine foundations have now been installed, and 40% of the 175 turbines have been installed on top of the foundations. Both continuous processes carried out by dedicated teams around the clock. So let's have a look at what's involved in installing the monopile foundations and turbines. First, a steel monopile foundation is hammered into the seabed. These are loaded out and transferred to the London Array site. Also on board and waiting to be installed on top of the monopile foundations are the 4 transition pieces, all being transported and installed by specialist vessels. The Seaworker in shallow water locations, the MPI Adventure in deeper water, and further support from the Svanen. The monopiles, each specifically designed for its location on site and weighing up to 650 tonnes, are hammered into the seabed to secure a firm and secure base for the transition pieces, which sit on top of the monopiles. Each one up to 28 metres tall and weighing as much as 44 double-decker buses. And as with the substation transition pieces, painted yellow for clear visibility out at sea. The transition piece forms a base for the turbine and houses the cables in J-tubes, delivering the generated power down under the sea, delivering power back to the substations and back to shore. And here we are on board the MPI Adventure in May 2012. A brand new vessel designed and built specifically for the installation of wind farms like London Array. 2 crews, each working 12-hour rotating shifts, take around 20 hours to install a monopile foundation and a transition piece on top. First, the vessel jacks up to sit on legs that sink into the seabed to give a stable working platform. Then the onboard crane lifts the monopile upright before carrying it into position. GPS satellite navigation guides the foundation to within millimetres of the required location in the seabed. Once lowered, a hammer buries the foundation to the required depth, ready for the transition piece to be installed over the top of it. And here it is, the transition piece, the platform onto which the turbine will sit. It's lifted into place and then grouted. Until finally we have a complete installation ready for the turbine to be installed on top and connected to the Array cable network. Built by Siemens Wind Power, the turbines are transported by 2 specialist vessels, the A2C Seaworker and the MPI Discovery, shipped from Esbjerg in Denmark and Harwich in the UK to the London Array site. 18 fiberglass blades, each 58.5 metres long. That's about the width of a football pitch. 12 towers, each 68 metres long. 6 generators that produce electricity from the turning blades, and 6 nacelles that house the generators. All taking around 48 hours to load onto the MPI Discovery in Denmark and then 40 hours to transit out to the London Array site. Once again, the team work around the clock to lift all of these components one by one into position with extreme precision. The two halves of each tower are carefully lifted from the vessel deck to be positioned onto the transition piece. And once the tower is built, the nacelle and hub can be positioned on top, ready for the blades to be fitted into the hub. Where the 58-metre-long blade will be rotated by the wind, generating up to 3.6 megawatts of electricity from each turbine.
The sea state is a challenge, but mainly it's the wind. With the limits for the lifting, these are heavy components that are being constructed, so the wind limits are critical to the operation. Once the final installation has been completed, we will depart the site and we will make the transit back to Esbjerg in Denmark, where again the loadout will start, all the components will be put on for the next trip, ready to come back to the site again to start the process all over again. (175 monopiles, transition pieces and turbines), 2 offshore substations and their foundations, over 200 kilometres of array cable, 4 export cables, 1 onshore substation, all coming together to deliver up to 630 megawatts of clean, renewable energy to more than 470,000 homes across the UK.